Y'all.
Welcome to episode 224. It's all about reseller distractions today, and we just thought we'd go ahead and press record because this is a real life example of what happens. Yeah.
I'm trying to get stuff done for
you
us.
get what you get your stuff done. Samantha and I will just carry on.
Yeah. So
no problem.
how's
not
your
how we start this thing? No, because we got to start with a hey y'all. Welcome to episode 224 of Consignment Chats.
Oh, you're so strict.
Yes, it's got to be that way.
All right. Fine.
Perfectionism is on our list. So yeah.
Things are getting real up in here at C Chats, folks. Things are getting real.
Y'all, Samantha scripted this whole episode, which we don't normally script based on me, apparently.
Scripted. I have 5 words. That's how scripted this is. 5 words.
I was clearly on her mind this morning, so she said, let's make an episode of it.
You were always on my mind. All right.
As I finish up my distraction of
you
for real,
yeah.
How about y'all start telling us about your week?
Hey y'all, welcome to Consignment Chats. This is Molly, and I'll be joined by my co-hosts Libby and Samantha.
How was your week, Libby?
Week 1 of year 2 of the 12-week year. Nailed it. Yes. However, this is what I'm going to report. Yesterday at about 2:30, I couldn't move. Literally, I pushed myself way too far. I thought I was sick. My body wouldn't move. I was done. I just couldn't. And I went to bed. I was asleep by 8:00. I was in bed at 3:00. Yeah, it was insane. So that was how my week was. I did it, but it wasn't easy. Yeah. How about you, Samantha?
So I think the same. I accomplished a lot of things this week. I also accomplished a lot of things at home. My husband's been gone. My daughter went on vacation. So I've been doing a lot of things. But yesterday, I kid you not, I sat down on the couch, phone in hand. My dog was next to me, and I was like, I'm just going to charge my phone for a couple minutes and just rest my legs. I woke up 2 hours later, spooning a Great Dane. I didn't. It took me forever just to find my phone because I didn't even. I don't know what happened. I passed out. I took a great nap. I don't know. I guess my body needed it. I was exhausted.
All right. Yeah. Molly,
so we need to balance a little bit better.
I don't do that, so that's probably not going to happen.
But I did a good job balancing, but I fell asleep Saturday, and I wasn't going to take a nap, but daggum if I didn't sleep for a couple hours. And then it messed up my going to sleep that night.
Yes, it did. Mm-hmm.
Problem.
And sleep's one of your tactic, as it is one of mine as well. I nailed it last night, man, 10 hours or 11 hours.
What was your score? What was your sleep score?
I don't get a sleep
score. Doesn't have the ring.
Oh, I don't do the sleep score.
I know.
Your watch should still give you a score. My watch does.
No, it doesn't. The Apple Watch doesn't give you a sleep score.
Oh, well, Samsung does, so crazy.
I know.
Team Droid.
Yeah, I had a good week too. I was very happy with my numbers and where I was with the 12-week year. I did not meet 100% all goals, but daggum if I'm not happy with where I was. So
good.
Daggum.
Balanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Samantha, one of your goals is to put out a consignment video every week. That was really cool. I actually just finished watching it. Loved it.
Thanks.
That's really good.
Well, because I am procrastinator extraordinaire, so I woke up from that 2-hour nap, groggy and disoriented, and I was like, crap, I have to do that today.
Otherwise I can't count it on my goal.
Yeah. But it worked out good because I had listed. The problem is I list a shelf for the stuff, and then I refill the shelf, and then I list the other thing, and I refill. So I had listed the last few days and not refilled anything yet, so it worked out good. Everything's refilled and ready to go for the first few days of the week, so it was good.
Awesome sauce. Yeah. So I went sourcing this weekend.
What? You?
So
I don't even believe you.
Yeah, we had her.
it's also on my list.
I told y'all she scripted this whole episode based on why Molly's always distracted. I know there's more of you out there, so I know you're going to give me love in the comments because you're going to go, I'm totally with you on this. But yeah, our community yard sale for our neighborhood area was this weekend. So Nick and I got up early and went to one that was outside of our neighborhood that we'd gone to in the past, because it started an hour before our neighborhood. And then we came to this one and we ran into our friends, Johnny and Lizzie of Brizzy's Finds a couple of times. So that was always fun.
They just had not one but two episodes, which I'm feeling a little gypped because they were on the Nashville Clippers channel with our friends Joe and Brendan and Ray. And they now do like an after dark. We didn't do an after dark episode, right? Like they record
Well,
one.
we talked about it.
Yeah, like they record one and then they record the other, but I think they did it with everybody after us.
Right, because we talked about, that's for a whole other episode. That's like an after dark episode. So maybe,
Well,
I guess, who knows?
the after dark one for Lizzie and Johnny was just released last night, so I just watched it this morning and it's hilarious. It's good. So everybody go watch the Nashville Flipper channel. It's great.
All right. I'll have to watch.
They called a Goodwill while recording. Like
prank calls at Goodwill?
No, they had a legitimate question, but it was great.
Who made the call? I just got to know.
Ray.
Right? All right.
Mm-hmm. While everybody else was heckling in the background.
All right. This is going to be good. I can't wait to watch it. Very
It was
fun.
good. Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, you ran into Johnny and Lizzie because they were going to have a garage sale, but then they decided not to.
Right. So it was rainy Thursday and Friday, and I think, as Johnny said, it was just a little too wet. They decided to opt out and just go shop it instead of selling some stuff. So I get that, and there were some of the houses on the map that clearly decided the same thing and they must not have notified the people that were running it because
Of course not.
Johnny and Lizzie weren't on the map, so they must have let them know,
Oh.
It's very well organized, but we went to a couple and they were not doing it, which was fine. But we found a lot of good things. So you'll have to join us on our Wednesday live the day after this goes out at 12 o'clock Eastern, and I will show some of these amazing items that I found.
Yay.
I love when we do show and tell on our Wednesday live.
I know.
It is really fun. Especially when I go to the auction, which I didn't.
No, we went out and had fun over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We went to Shandapus Studios.
I did. I not send. I think I sent my kids the video. I didn't send you the video of
No,
No, I even specifically requested it. And
I took the video for you guys, and then I got distracted and sent it to my kids. And I'm sorry.
Maybe we should jump right into our main topic of top 5 resellers.
Are you saying my kids are a distraction? They 1,000% are. They 1,000%.
They are.
I hope Emma and me rewatch this. Yeah.
They sure won't.
They sure won't. Hey, they're very good about liking. Well, Avery is. Emma not so much anymore. About liking our reels and our social media. So they are good, supportive kids.
They are very. I do have to say, that even though they are a distraction, they're not really a distraction, but they are the most supportive kids of this.
They are.
Of what I do and consignment chats, especially. Like, they are the ones that they bought me the mic when nobody else believed in me. I was doing it without a mic, and they were like, it was my birthday. They bought me the mic. It was the sweetest thing in the world when I was getting a lot of backlash from everybody else in my life. Like, you're doing what? You're what? Kids were like, we're proud of you, Mom. Here you go. We believe
and they were still in high school then.
Oh, yeah. They were young. Yeah.
Such good kids.
Yeah. So I don't want to call them distractions because they are just uber supportive and I love them so much. All right. Go ahead.
So should we tell people what a shandapus is before they just think that Libby like went to a strip club last weekend or something?
she went to Shandapus Studios. What?
Yeah. So my sister's an artist. And she is the creator of the Shandapus, which is a chandelier, octopus chandelier. She's kind of a big deal, I guess.
She is.
Art world. Yeah, she started as an illusion artist, and now she has this Shandapus Studios where she makes all sorts of things. I will link her up in the show notes. She does. If you want to follow her on Instagram, you will definitely get a lot of laughs. So I will link her up. She is Sweet Adeline Art. Sweet Adeline Art. Yeah, but you gotta see it to believe it. It's so creative.
I tell everybody. My neighbors all follow her. I'm like,
what do they?
Yeah. I always talk about how amazing she is. I mean, she's not just talented, but her personality is just perfect and entertaining and perfect for what she does and who she is. It's authentically Addie.
I know. Yeah.
I love it. I'm so proud of her. So proud of her.
And before she started Shandapus, I sat with her and did a mission statement because she didn't know like where she was going with the art and what, like, just wanted to have a vision of what she was doing. She was on with David Meltzer. She was doing an interview, and she felt like she wanted to have like a mission before she went on there. So we sat and did that, and it works for everybody. It just really focused her in, and then now look.
She's thanked you on several occasions for helping her because it's been a game changer for things she's had to do in her business. So.
Yeah, and to see that kind of play out in a different industry other than reselling is just super cool. Yeah. So we're really invested in making sure you guys know your why and what your mission is. It's a big deal. Yeah.
Absolutely. It will help you get less distracted.
Absolutely. Good. Way to bring it back around, Samantha. I love it.
I'm just going to sit back and let Samantha run this one since I know we're going to be tearing me apart. Anyway.
I think the best thing is normally I show up to these and I'm like, oh, we're recording right now. Oh, we're already oh, okay. And now I'm the one, I'm like a half hour beforehand. I'm like, this is what we're going to talk about. These are the things. This is the.
You're responsible for reining us in, Samantha. Rein us in.
You tried to segue us into the topic, and I love it. I'm like, well, I'm not needed. I'm the topic of discussion. We all do. Everybody does. I just like to, make fun of myself because I felt very seen when she sent her list.
Did you feel naked? I bet you felt really naked when she said that.
Real naked. I love naked. All right, let's break down what we see as the 5 top reseller distractions. Let's break it down.
In no specific order. So one of my favorite things in the whole world is to organize. But one of my greatest downfalls is to organize. And I had a conversation with somebody about this recently, and there was some chatter in one of the groups too. Like, it can be such a distraction. It's one thing to like, okay, I need to organize this or change this process, or like something that you have to do in order to function better. But man, I could organize and redo my process all day, every day, and never actually list anything. But you're telling yourself that you're being productive because this is going to make you more productive. You're organizing, you're changing, you're doing whatever. But I can do it so much that I literally never list anything. Am I the only one?
So no, because when I looked at that word when you sent your list to organize, I looked at it in totally different eyes.
Oh, okay.
Different eyes when I saw that.
All right.
When it said, because you had in the side notes, like when it's too much. And I was like, oh, she means my house, too much inventory, and I'm unorganized, so I can't focus. Because this is what I tell everybody all the time. Like and I say ADD, and I don't say it lightly because I am officially diagnosed ADD. But when things get too cluttery, I can't focus.
That's true.
My brain shuts down. So I looked at it I read that totally different.
Yeah.
You saw that.
Yeah. I mean, both ways for sure. I totally understand that too. And my daughter is like that. When my house starts cluttering up with consignment, even just somebody dropped off a couple bags and they're sitting in the kitchen, she immediately is like, "Mom, get the bags out of the kitchen." And I'm like, "Dude, they've been there an hour. Calm down." Like,
That might be more OCD.
yeah, she's a little much.
Because ADD, we don't really focus on it. We don't realize that that's what's making us not focus. We just it's just there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm in the Molly camp with this one. Like, I'm not one to over organize things, but when things are a mess, I can't focus. That's why the reset to zero has been so big, to do that every night.
Yeah.
I see.
I can't.
Yeah.
In a mess.
My whole office reset that I did last week was so necessary and such a game changer. And that's why when you wrote that, I mean, that's exactly what I thought about, how much more productive I've been in the 1 week that I moved my office back upstairs and completely reset it. And it's just, I come in here and I feel like, you know, oh, Molly can focus.
I hope that's the clip that AI takes out of this episode right there. That's
if we don't, it needs to do a like image of breaking glass across the screen.
oh stop. So I think the organizing also, like, I think another part of that is processes. So there's like the physical stuff and I could sort and organize things into bins and shelves all day long. Like, that's no problem. But I think also processes, we see a lot of people that, and myself included sometimes, where something needs to change in their process. Maybe a software changed or something shifted or sourcing thing had to change. But then they will like beat it to death. Like, well, I'll try this. And then 2 days later, oh, I'll try this. And then 2 days later. And they don't actually give any of the processes a chance. They're just so focused on changing their process that it totally distracts them from just listing. Like, do enough to get yourself done and focus and list, and then spend a little more time on it or something. Like, it's too much sometimes.
This may segue into another one, but I get so into the weeds with stuff like that, even with the 12-week year calendars, trying to figure out which one I'm going to use. I can't tell you how much money in the last 3 months I've spent downloading and buying new people's, draft of how their templates was the word I was looking for, of their calendar and which is going to work. And I don't know why I do this to myself every time. What it boils down to for me and probably for everybody else, simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Simplify. Simplify your organization. Simplify your processes for running your business. Simplify your listings so you just get them up there and out there. But when you're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I was going to say that flows into the perfectionism. Yeah.
I have to say I've seen this. I've fallen into this trap, but we see a lot of people fall into the trap is like, oh, I'll start when I get the new organizer. I'll start after I read that book. Oh, I just need this, and that's going to fix everything. And that could be a distraction, is like making sure everything is perfect, making sure you have the perfect setup, perfect plan, that you've researched everything to death, and just keep putting off and moving that start line and moving that start line and moving that start line. Well, there are a lot of people that actually never start because they keep moving it. And then it gets to be like where it's unattainable. So that whole start where you are mentality is, I was not talking to you. I'm sorry if you're offended. You're resembling this comment, but I was not talking to you.
So for those that are
at all.
So for those that are listening, that are doing the same thing Molly's doing, hanging their head saying, oh my gosh, she's calling me out. We might be a little bit, but not intentionally. Not intentionally.
All right. If you must know, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm talking about my ex-husband who always needed like the perfect thing. So I'm not using any of you as an example. He is what is in my head. Sorry, Dave.
Man, you called out your kids so far.
Wow.
You want to mention your parents at all? Like, what are we doing here?
I will. Don't worry.
Hold them out somewhere.
Well, I just feel like, especially what was it a couple weeks ago on Reseller Reflections, I was talking about something, and what Vanessa said to me a couple days later, she's like, "You were talking about me, weren't you?" Because I was talking about something holiday bins, and I was like, "No, you never even crossed my mind. I'm sorry."
She felt so called out on that.
I
She's like, well, when you mentioned X, Y, and Z, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't think of it that way, but
Now that you mention it, no.
So I'm a little paranoid about like people thinking I'm calling them out, and I'm not now.
Listen, if you think you're being called out, it's because you know that you are one who deals with these issues. And the good thing about it, whether you're talking about me or not, is number one, I already know this stuff about myself. I know this. This is nothing I haven't talked about, all these things left, right. And I know there are millions of other people that deal with these same things. But the beauty about something like us right now, breaking down these 5 distractions, is that it helps us, those that these are distractions, rethink it. And that's the beauty of it. The beauty of
so
it.
I mean, we've all done all of these. Like, yeah, this is.
I'm gonna throw one in here because it doesn't fit in any of the neat little categories you scripted for us. But it is focusing on things you can't control, right? eBay changes a fee. All of a sudden you're down a rabbit hole and you're like, I can't believe they did this. You're in Facebook groups. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're raising hell. Guess what? Sorry, you're not going to change anything. That one's out of your control. Right. But what is in your control?
You could have sold one extra thing and covered that fee for the whole month.
Increasing your volume. Yeah, that stuff. That's what's in your control. So I think getting obsessed with things that we don't have control over is a huge distraction. And it's an easy one to do.
All right, well, we'll just make this the top 6 now.
Sorry.
I'm going to go back to the second one real quick. I just want to say one thing about perfectionism, about going out and buying all of these templates for my calendar, because I'm going to do the 12-week year and I'm going to do it and it's going to be beautiful and I'm going to have all these amazing things set up, right?
Can we also talk about how you wouldn't even help Vanessa with it until you had it perfect?
Yes, I did say.
We may not talk about that.
I understand that you wanted to have a good process in place and you wanted to understand it enough to show her. But at the same time, we're a week and a half in, and you're like, oh, I can show you that now.
I'm ready. Well, see,
almost
she had a lot of other stuff she needed to focus on, and if I had thrown this in her lap, it would have been absolute chaos for her. I was already in the process of it, so I may as well have just taken one for the team, mastered it, and then broken it down and simplified it for her, which is what I did with this particular template. I'm now simplifying. But what I want to say,
Vanessa, we are talking about the diabetic reseller. Go over, follow her channel, and you can see some of the fallout from this. I'm sure she talks about it.
But what I want to say about this is, and I wish I could give her credit. Libby, I sent you the video, but I watched somebody who did the whole 12-week planning, and it was all about planning, and she was a psycho something or another. But anyway, one of the things she said that was so calling me out. I know I never
end of that. Like
I gotta find her. Libby, did you find her? I was thinking while I was telling you that she's
looking because she's not distracted.
Right. I don't multitask.
I will tell you who she is.
Segue.
Dr. Tiffany Shelton. Okay. I watched one of her videos that I sent to Libby because I liked it. Libby I don't know if she liked it or not.
I did not care for it.
But she did a thing on time blocking. And one of the things that she said that really hit home was the whole thing about how you get it all in and you got to make it beautiful and you spend all this time and making things beautiful. And in the end, it's too much. It's just too much for your brain to process. And I was like, oh my, that is so me 100%. So what I've done now is I've got one thing that does my percentage on my tasks. And I've gone back to writing my to-do list every morning on paper.
Look at you.
Simplifies the process, and I can just knock these things out today and then later put them on my 12-week year.
So I should link up that video. I'll say when I said I didn't like it, I meant it was a good video. It just wasn't for me. It didn't speak to how my brain works. It wasn't.
You're so worried about offending people now.
Well, it really spoke to my brain.
But it was a great video that we'll link up. Yeah.
The way my brain needs to segment things, it spoke very well. Maybe because of her degree in psychology. I can't remember exactly what it is.
I'm glad you used the word psychology this time. Okay.
Go whatever.
Yeah, go over and watch it.
But I think that background spoke well to me with my ADD, the way she broke things up, more simplified. And it just really, I thought it was very good. But anyways, it's important to say that, simplify everything I've ever done, that I go through the perfection part to make it all, everything's got to be pretty because I like pretty. Everything has to be perfect. And in the end, I can't tell you how many beautiful $100 day planners that I had to have because they were gorgeous that I've thrown in the trash in about 3 weeks were ever filled out on them. Just did it the other day when we cleaned the office, FYI. Right? It was like, how much did we spend on this and how many weeks did you fill out? I'm like, don't look, just put it in the recycle.
So perfectionism, when I see perfectionism on this list, holy schmoly. I think of a lot of resellers we see in their listings, especially now that we have AI and all the tags and keywords and measurements. There's so many things that go into a listing now, and they overthink it and they want it to be perfect. And it's just, I was in a Zoom room with several resellers the other day, and in the amount of time that they took to use AI and come up with all these different, figure out what category, it was a tank top. It was a flippin' tank top. Probably listed for $14, like nothing crazy. They spent like an hour on this thing coming up with the perfect keywords and the perfect cores and all the whatever. I listed like 8 things while they were doing that. And it's too much. It's great that technology is helping us and that we are like recognizing these things that will help set us apart from other people. But if you are rabbit holing and just trying to make it absolutely perfect, it's like, it's $14, people. Just move on. It's okay.
And I don't mean to be busting on AI, but I'm gonna bust on AI. I accidentally yesterday in listing on my phone hit the AI on the description with my thumb and didn't mean it. I'm like, what is this? And I read it and I was like, this is so not me. And
right.
I would never read through all that. I would never, if I were a customer, want to read all that swishy stuff. I just want the basic details. Tell me the flaw. I don't need you to zhuzh it up and tell me that it would look good walking down the red carpet. Guess what? I ain't walking down no red carpet.
People are getting to the point where they're putting their styles at the bottom, like would look great with blue jeans and brown boots and the whole.
That nobody.
Yeah,
that's what
people don't shop like that on eBay. They shop for something specific. Probably 90% time, like they are going down looking for. I need a brown ribbed tank top.
Right.
Yeah.
Size large. Like,
well, that's the same with the people worrying about their storefront on eBay, which you can choose which categories and listings go on there and you can curate it. But at the same time, 90% of the things we sell are just from somebody searching.
Correct. Yeah, that part, I want to do a whole class on streamline your listing. Just streamline.
We need to do an episode on that
for that specific thing. Yeah. And some people are.
Samantha's trying to come back in. She's having.
There we go.
These y'all. But
can you hear me now?
Yes, I would love to do an episode on that and just streamline and show people how fast I can knock stuff out. I mean, we'll sit in a meeting and I can, like Samantha said, I can have 10 things done before the meeting's over.
Is this the segue into the multitasking discussion?
Oh Lord. Anyway, I think
You guys can tell that's my pet peeve, right?
it is a streamlined process, y'all. You don't need all of that. You don't.
Yeah. It gets to be way too much trying to perfect the listing.
Just get it up and get the details, the things that people want to know. Is there a hole in it? What are the measurements? What size? What color? Move on.
Same with listings.
Good pictures.
Same with listings. I mean, good pictures, very important. However, you don't need to spend 30 minutes putting something in a specific pose on your flat lay or on a mannequin that a certain way with the right sunlight and the right, like, the birds chirping. Nobody can hear the birds in your photo. It's fine. Gosh. Like, they want like that Cinderella moment.
Me I'll be on my couch sometimes, y'all, and I literally will hold it up with my hand, snap, turn, snap, look for a tag, snap, put it in the photo room and list it. Then my photographer of clothing, boom, boom, boom. He just goes through those clothes and he just spins it, snaps, goes in on a hole, and gets the tag, and it's off. Like, and that's in the middle of a room with 7,000 things in the background.
Right.
But photo room takes the background out. So,
yep.
Doesn't matter who take the picture.
Doesn't matter. I mean, you want it to look good. You want a good picture. Pictures are extremely important. It's your first impression of the listing. However, sometimes too much is too much because you got to get stuff listed or you're not going to make any money.
And that's the point.
Can you all hear my chair squeaking?
Yep.
Damn it.
I was wondering if that was some sort of feedback or something, but no, your chair makes more sense.
Okay, I'm going to stay real still then, y'all.
No, it's fine.
What is our next in the now 6 reseller distractions?
So multitasking, since it was already mentioned, that is Libby's absolute favorite topic. Because Molly and I try to do it a lot, and then we half-ass things like last night. So last night, we're doing Reseller Reset. Libby wasn't feeling well, so she didn't show up. Libby runs that meeting, so then we had to figure that out. And I was trying to post things to the Patreon while talking to people. It didn't work. I wasn't engaging well enough with the people, and I messed up some of the things that I was posting. It didn't work to do both at the same time.
Ooh.
So let me just put this out there. There's no such thing as multitasking. Some people can just switch between tabs in the brain a little bit faster. There's no such thing as multitasking. You are never doing 2 tasks simultaneously. Can you switch back and forth probably more efficiently than I can? Absolutely. There are 2% of the population, that's right, 2% of the population that are considered super taskers that can do it really fast, and it appears to be multitasking. 2%. I don't think any of us, no offense, qualify for that 2%.
We are not part of the 2% or the 1%. No.
2%. Right. We are not part of the 2%. We're not. Sorry. Yeah. But all right, here's the thing about multitasking. Now that we all know it doesn't exist, it's not a thing. You can't do it. You're half-assing what you should be whole-assing. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. All right. But anyway.
No monetization.
If I'm the one that takes us down for that, that's going to be really sad. Yeah, so when you guys multitask, or when I'm around people that are like multitasking, then I'm tempted to do it because we're not being like, let's take a meeting, for example. Molly's listing in the meeting. And then I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll just do a social media post while we're doing it. That's a bad example.
That's a terrible example.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just do a book club post while, since Molly's listing and we're supposed to be discussing something else. So when other people are multitasking around me, I feel like I get sucked into that kind of loop of multitasking, and things aren't getting done efficiently. Next thing you know, our meeting's an hour and a half. It could have been done in like half an hour. And it just kind of spirals out of control. So.
Well, and then my husband comes home and he's like, what did you do today? And he doesn't mean it in like a, oh, it looks like you didn't do anything. He means it in like a hurricane hit our house. And I was like, well, I was listing and then I had to throw something in the washer. So then I did a little laundry and then I found a towel that needed to go in the bathroom. So then I started reorganizing the bathroom towel cabinet. And then he comes home and it's just a bunch of half done stuff because I'm multitasking and getting all kinds of things done at the same time. And again, I didn't list anything because I got distracted. But I like your point on when we're on our phones because that's twofold. Like we're distracted and we're doing something else. We're not giving our task the full attention. But then also we're distracting others because let's be real. Most of us go on our phones, we go on our social media, and we see something cute and funny, and we tag somebody in it. We send it to somebody. We do. I see it with Dawn and Jill and I every single.
Molly do that in the middle of a meeting,
right?
Yeah,
right. And like every single night, we're
I've
like,
probably done it too. To be fair,
yeah.
Every single night, we're like, oh guys, you got to see this. What they were listing, they were being productive, and I just distracted them by sending that cute dog video. Now they've opened their social media. Now they're scrolling, and it's
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. I felt a little good the other day in our mastermind meeting when Libby replied to somebody in our Facebook group messenger in the middle of the meeting that you were running. And I was like, oh, yeah, Libby's doing it. Libby's off. She's not paying attention. She's over there on Messenger in the movement group.
I was editing a video that was helping them with the mastermind.
They had technically requested that video, but she did do it right in the middle of the meeting.
I just remember comments that you were making, not a video, but I'll give you.
All right, yeah, you're right. You're right. Totally did it. It's terrible. It's awful to do that.
Listen, yeah. I list during meetings because you guys are the ones that are running it, and I listen, but everybody in our meetings, they're all working while somebody's...
You listen, but there's a lot of, and I do this too on a daily basis, there's a lot of, can you repeat that, please? What was your question again? Like, because they'll say their whole question and be like, what do you think, Molly? Or, what do you think about that, Samantha? And it's like, what do I think about what now? Do you want to just say that again for me, please?
I really have to repeat a couple of times. I'm usually listening because listening doesn't take a lot of my focus. That's an easy no-brainer, right?
Right.
If I were trying to edit a video or something like that, that'd be a whole different ballgame.
Oh, I edited a video yesterday. Oh my Lord, the whole time I'm like, Molly is a saint.
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I edited out 10 minutes of dead air of me just like hanging up the clothes. Every time I edited out me trying to get something on a hanger, 10 minutes altogether. That's crazy. All right. Anyways, so something glitched. So that's for multitasking. The next one is phone and social media. We touched a little bit on that. It's to the point where a lot of people have two phones so that they don't have social media. I've done that, and on my super distracted weeks, I will get that out and I will just photograph. I have Consign Cloud and List Perfectly on there, so I can just photograph and do that. It does not have Facebook. It does not have like anything on it. It just Photo Room. Those are three things: Photo Room, Consign Cloud, and List Perfectly. That's it. And so when I am feeling super distracted or a lot of people are trying to get a hold of me, or the phone goes in another room, I grab my work phone and I just do stuff on there because it can be a lot.
Yeah.
You really have to hone in those notifications and maybe turn on a do not disturb mode when you're trying to work, which you can schedule now. I have mine scheduled every night from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. My phone's on do not disturb. My kids and my husband can still get through if they text or call, but everything else is silent. And maybe I should start doing that for my listing times because I have them on my calendar every day of when I'm going to be listing. Maybe I should start turning on do not disturb as well.
Yeah, I've really been struggling with that lately. Is like responding to text. Like we have a group text with my friend, like, and it's fun, right? Like, and I'm in there like all
Right.
the time, and I really
We've
can't.
noticed in our meetings.
Hmm?
We've noticed in our meetings.
Oh, that was the dating app. Yeah, that
All
was
of
the
a sudden
thing.
you start smirking and
We dated
giggling.
during our
Down in her lap with a big smile on her face, and we're like, "Hello."
yeah. That's see, I'm really struggling with it. I'm glad we're doing this episode because I really need to be like reined back in. Yeah.
The beautiful thing with the do not disturb now and the focus part is it's so much more advanced. Like you were saying, Samantha, you can do so much more with that now where it sets up automatically. You can have several different schedules throughout the day that it sets up everybody or only people, this group of people can contact me during these hours.
Yeah.
Like if it's work time, but you need your work people to still be able to contact you or your, you know, your kids to be able to contact you. Can so be very specific about that now, which is nice.
Yeah. I was worried for a long time about putting my phone on silent at night because I have kids and grandkids and
Right.
but my husband is such a light sleeper. He would wake up in the morning and he'd be like, I heard at least 4 cha-chings. What were you doing over there? And I'm like, I was sleeping. I don't know why that bothered you. But now that I can, the kids can still call me. Like everything's fine. I can just shut that right off. And we don't hear all those cha-chings that are coming in all night long. eBay, bring the cha-chings back all night long. Come on. I'm talking to you.
Please. Jaw, girl.
Okay, so last but not least, number 6, apparently. This one I think these weren't in any specific order, but I do think that this one is number 1 for resellers. I think the ultimate reseller distraction, and Molly, this one is directed at you. Sourcing. You've done a really good job at balancing your sourcing, making sure that you're listing the things that you source. It is crazy. I will ask you how your weekend went, and you'll be like, "Oh, I already sold 3 things from Saturday," and I'm like, "You got them all listed? Like, all but a couple." Because I mean, you're still a 90%. So there's that.
I'm still a 90%. Yes.
But yeah, like you've done a good job at balancing all of that and doing your thrifting videos and all that.
She should teach a like little course on like a mini course on that, since that is the biggest distraction. And she's like really mastered that distraction.
Y'all are giving me credit where I it's not deserved yet because I still have stuff from last weekend that needs to be listed in a bag here, and everything from this weekend is sitting behind it. So I do get behind because it depends on how big the sales are, like how many good things. Sometimes you can go and only come out with 10 items and quickly get those listed. But if you come out like we did this weekend with 3 IKEA bags full of stuff, I'm not going to get that knocked out Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Okay, but let's talk about our friend Brian, who I'm going to call out right now. Brian.
Wow. Oh.
He is killing it. He lists a lot and he is a hustler and we mad respect to him big time. However, Samantha, I'm getting another truckload of stuff this weekend. I had to buy another shed or a container that's not how you're supposed to handle that. You're not just supposed to get more buildings to put it in. You're supposed to keep listing it and stop sourcing. So I think that's the big thing is assessing what you have and the situation you have before you go sourcing. And there's lots of ways to do that. I'm not saying you have to list it all, but you need to go through it all and decide what you're going to keep for listing, what needs to be donated. Are you going to have a fill a bag sale in your front yard? Like what you're going to do to get to the point where you don't have every nook and cranny stuck full of stuff that isn't even listed.
Right.
Sourcing is a huge addiction. Maybe those people need to look into consignment, which is something that you utilize as well.
Right. Yes, I do use consignment as well, it absolutely is an addiction. I will 100% back that. Hi, I'm Molly, and I am addicted to sourcing. I 100% am. It's so hard. I guess the thing is don't look for what's coming up the next weekend if you haven't listed all your stuff and just focus on that, because that's where I have a hard time. Like Nick and I already said, this coming weekend, we won't go sourcing. We'll put that money, because we always keep money saved. We'll add it to the next week and have extra money when we go to Nashville and go sourcing. And I'm like, okay. And then what do I do last night? I go look at my favorite happy camper, and there are some amazing, amazing items. And now I want to go Saturday. Not only do I want to go, but I want to be the first in line when I go. I want to be number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Not 10, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it's hard. Like there's an item there that like I got to get my hands on. I got to be the one to get it. And now it's become.
But you don't. You don't. So
how
many things are you going to get to list to earn to go get that item?
I don't know. I guess I'll have to have Nick tell me that. I'll have to have Mr. C Chat set that goal that if I get X amount by Friday, I can go.
There you go. I like it.
I like that challenge. And you know what? Samantha, that is a great idea. And y'all need to remind me of this on a weekly basis. Although I know y'all get scared to tell me what to do because then I give y'all a look and go whatever because I don't like to be told what to do. But that is a phenomenal way to do that every week.
Do you need my kindergarten thermometer that I made?
I might.
You can put your goals in here. I'm usually like going to the casino as the top of mine, and then like lattes. Fill these ones up.
But not the butter. What is it? Something butter bear?
You can get a skinny butter bear. It is a butter bear, a Big B butter bear latte, and you can get a skinny version. And I don't get whip, which I learned is a lot of the calories the whipped cream, so I don't get that. So
yeah, all right.
Nice. All right. I'm glad you get back on that. Yeah.
And I don't get a super extra huge one anymore. I get a small.
There you go.
That's literally how Bill would order it. The biggest one you got. That's what she wants. There were cups in there I didn't even know they had. Like, anyways, yes, I tell my husband on a week, we don't do this every week, but on weeks where I'm struggling or like I really need to meet a goal and I'm having a hard time, I will fill this out and I will tell him and then I post it at my door in my office. Do not take me out to dinner until I list X amount of items. Do not bring me a latte and I'll fill this up. And then at the end, I'm like, do take me to the casino right now. Like that. So it works pretty good.
The casino would have to be the absolute full thermometer for the casino. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to make the money to go play with the money. Yeah. But there have been times we had a trip planned over to Canada. He wanted to go to Value Village, and he was looking for something specific. And I was like, "You're gonna have to go without me or with our daughter." And he's like, "Why? Are you unavailable on Saturday?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am unavailable because apparently I need to list more because I didn't hit the top of my flipping thermometer." So
yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're gonna have Nick set a goal.
I like this. Yes, I'm gonna have Nick set a goal. So if sourcing is a distraction for you, I like this answer for it. Mm-hmm. Make yourself a listing goal, and until you get X amount done, my dream is to get to where I source that weekend, and by the next weekend when I go sourcing again, everything's listed. That's my dream. And I'm doing good. I'm much better now than I was a year ago.
Very close to that.
I'm getting closer. Mm-hmm. But that is my dream goal. That is my big dream goal. That I will get to that point where I buy on the weekends, list all week, get the video out, start fresh again the next week. And somebody calls me and says, "Molly, I have an estate for you that I want you to come take." And then the estate takes over my life. Yeah, what do? You do. But I think this is a great helper for those that are distracted by sourcing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Make sure you have a goal. Like, number one, get a goal in place, right? What do you want to do for that week? And then your carrot is the sourcing at the end of the week. You get to that goal, you get to go sourcing, whatever it is. But set yourself a goal. I love that.
I do too. I love that our mastermind, excuse me. I mean, we have 12-week year. We set big goals. Like, there's stuff. But I love that our mastermind group has evolved so much over the years that now it's just like a week by week thing. So if that is your goal for that week, I need to list X amount so I can go to the estate sale, or I need to do, that is like the perfect place to come in and share that. And then we will cheer you on and we will check with you the following week. If you still went to that estate sale and you did not meet your goal, You're gonna get some looks.
Am I going to be in
There's-
trouble?
You're gonna be in trouble. Yeah.
Will I be in trouble, or will Nick be in trouble? Because if I didn't
Both of
make
you.
that goal set and yet I still get to go, it really has to do with him caving.
It really does. I blame a lot of that on my husband too. I'm like, why did you bring me a latte? I didn't fill the thermometer to that point yet. He's like, oh, but you will. I'm like, no, that's
That's not how it
no.
works.
I had to train him.
To train you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Oh me, oh my.
He's so good. He's like, babe, I believe in you. I know you got this. And I'm like, no, that's not the point.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. So clearly there are many distractions out there in the reselling world as we are trying to be business bosses in this industry. So many distractions. I know the distractions no matter what you do, but we have a lot of them, and most of us are working from home, and that makes them even more difficult, I think, to battle because you don't have the fear of somebody walking past your cubicle and catching you. So you really have to self-check yourself and come up with ways to fight those distractions. And I love that we did come up with some good ideas here to help people.
Mhm.
If you have things that work for you, please put them in the comments. We'd love to hear
Yes.
ways that you deal with distractions, or maybe you have a distraction that's your number one that didn't even make our list. Let us know. We want to hear.
Yes.
All right.
I just want you to know that also on this list is chocolate meringue cookies. So I scripted this so much that I added it to my list of things I want to cook this week. That's
All right.
yeah.
Ooh, bring some of those with you.
I know, right? Yeah.
I'll try those. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, ladies. Until next time. She was just distracted at the very end. Cheers.
Thank you for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we grow your reselling business. For all things Consignment Chats, visit us at consignmentchats.com and join our free private communities on Facebook and/or Patreon.